What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox. I'm joined as always by Dan Regester and Jake Goldman. How we doing, guys?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be alive, Rob.
It's day.
It's daytime. Yeah. I rarely see you guys when the sun's up anymore.
This is going to be the first show we've done in a long time where Rob's sober.
I don't feel great about it. I'm a little hungover.
I'm a little hungover too, actually.
So there is that.
Are you a little afraid you're not going to quite bring it as you typically do?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That I don't really know how to be on a podcast unless I'm like 2 beers deep.
Drinking is your crutch.
It's more than that.
It's called an addiction.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
A crutch helps you stand. The drinking is like the foundation.
It's the concrete slab
Yeah.
of Rob's career.
I sit on a throne of empty bottles.
Like a wizard. He's got a staff.
It's the Iron Throne, but it's just
shitty
empty beer bottles.
The Keystone Throne.
Yeah.
No, you're just at Wrigleyville stacking cups.
Sliding through urinal troughs. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. There was so much liquid in there.
Would you rather do that or run across the porta potties at what, the Preakness?
The Preakness.
Run across the portal. You don't
Definitely.
get in
You get pegged with beers.
That's better.
I would still.
That's better.
I don't want to just slide through a stainless steel trough.
That
of
guy
piss.
slip and slided.
And then you
through,
could also
like,
fall
4
off the porta
inches.
potty through the porta potty.
Oh, there's
better.
definitely risk. People also trough slide at the Preakness as well.
Ugh,
Yeah.
what do you do after that?
You smell like
Because
piss.
the video ends, but that guy's life keeps going.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rob. People like to have fun.
I guess I'm questioning where the fun is.
Bros just
I
want
mean,
to have fun.
it's fun to watch.
This guy's
Yeah.
being dudes.
He's doing it for you, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's doing it for you.
You got that story forever.
yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, that story forever. The one you'd probably never tell. And
You
hope
always tell.
Ends up
Just
in your
not,
wedding toast.
Yeah.
Not to the woman you love, no.
No, you don't tell her that.
You don't tell her that. Someone, the best man,
Says it.
it's like, oh, when he met Sarah, he had just slid through a porta potty trough or a urinal trough 3 days before, and man, we're a long way from there.
And
Yeah.
she calls off the wedding. It's a whole
Immediately.
ordeal.
God.
It's too late at the best man speech. You don't.
Yeah, you at
At
that point,
the wedding's done, man.
you eat shit and get an annulment.
yeah.
Depends if they actually sign the paper.
The wife just waits. I want to hear the best man speech before I sign this.
Right.
That's funny.
Tell me about the bachelor party. What happened there? Slide through one more trough for old time's sakes? Like, I guess you could call what I did sliding through a trough. It was a dirty, dirty whore.
Are you talking about your bachelor party? What happened?
Columbia, Missouri? No,
Yeah.
I don't. Some guys wanted to go to a strip club, and I was like,
Do you really want to do this?
no, thank you. I was like, it would be funny because that strip club is, it's mid-Missouri, so it's
Surprisingly, a lot of college campus strip clubs
not bad, yeah.
are bad. I would say.
Well,
Well, they're paying for their tuition.
I guess
of
let me
course.
put it this way. They're better than other rural strip clubs.
Sure, they're slightly better. I don't know. There's
But
one
Texas
outside.
A&M's was horrifying.
There's one outside of Gainesville. I'm sure you've been.
Yeah,
to
no
it.
shit. College Station's strip clubs suck.
Did you ever go to Cafe Risque when you're
No,
going up by
dude,
75?
I'm not a strip club guy. I've
not
been to
even
like
gonna
2
do,
strip
but-
clubs my entire life.
What? Really?
2?
I can tell you how many.
Bikinis, I think, in Coconut or Cocoa Beach. It was like a fraternity thing, and then
It's always a fraternity thing. Like
and then when I was down bad in Vegas,
What?
down bad,
You
so you
just need
went
be
to a
cheered
place
up?
that cost more.
it was just it was after we got fired, so like
Oh yeah, you're
all of
just
us
kind
went,
of vibing.
like Rachel Page went.
Fair enough.
You're on the thing. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever personally chosen to go to a strip club. Maybe
No.
once in New Orleans when I was really drunk. But like I've been dragged or been made to go to strip clubs because everyone else wanted to go. Like probably
There's-
2,000 times.
There is definitely a type that likes strip clubs.
Yeah.
There's like always that dude that's like, dude,
And it's Jake.
it's definitely not me. I do not have fun anywhere where I have to spend money for no reason.
Yeah, no shit. Just
Yeah.
and then you get like sexually harassed. They don't leave you alone.
Like, do you want to dance? It's like, no, I want to leave.
Yeah. I
The
wanna
worst
drink.
thing is when we were in Vegas, I had to like bail out a guy that was a friend of a friend.
Ugh.
Yeah.
From jail?
No, from paying the bouncer or the stripper.
Oh.
Like he owed a lot of money.
Who?
Really?
Yeah.
He's one of
He's
those.
like, I don't have it on me. I'll get you later. But like, I just met this dude like, I don't know, 18 hours
Did he
beforehand.
pay you back?
Yeah, he did.
That's good. That, ugh.
Because otherwise,
Yeah, that's a scumbag.
But this kind of a actually appropriate discussion for us today in the topic we're going to get to. But first, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory. $5 a month gets you 2 extra episodes a week. We have like 2 years worth of a back catalog, all evergreen historical content. We do listener voicemails. We do watch-alongs. We do another one of these episodes and all kinds of other fun shit, trivia shows, stuff like that. Check it out, patreon.com/softcorehistory.
Also, if you want to see our beautiful faces, go to our YouTube.
That's
Softcore
right.
History on YouTube. Subscribe. Watch the videos. I don't care. Leave them on for the dogs.
Leave it on for the dogs. We also, years of content there. You could play it for the dog all day. All day.
That's true.
And then leave a review on Apple, specifically. Leave a 5-star on Spotify, but on Apple, write a review and 5 stars, because when we get to 1,000, Dan is allowed to drink
I can drink again.
alcohol, something I would never agree to,
Mm-hmm.
going sober for the show.
We're about 29 reviews away.
Boom. We got a lot of good ones, and we'll read them when we get to 1,000 as well.
And I'll get fucked up.
And Dan will get blacked out
I'll
on
stay
the
in Joel's trailer in the back of the studio.
That's smart. That's a smart move.
I'll bring my dog.
Were you on the drinking contest thing, the breathalyzer
No, that was
contest? Oh my god,
That was aggressive.
It's
Still, someone said one of you guys said it was still on Facebook.
floating around there. Yeah, it's on Facebook.
No, it's all the old TFM videos are still on
I
that
guarantee
Facebook
there's
page.
a fan that downloaded all the stuff.
He did. He actually has told me he will send me the drive at some point with all the shit.
All I know is I was like clicking through it last time I saw it, and just like there's a point where Boosh is so drunk he's just slamming his head into a table repeatedly.
Mhm.
It's like, damn.
Like from full what's straight up 45 degrees to 90.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
45 to 90 into the table hard.
That's not even the worst thing he's done on a podcast.
No. Well,
Talking about
I think we cut that
his
part.
Thailand trip.
I think we cut that part.
what do you mean?
You
cut
weren't
it?
there,
There was
dude.
an entire episode
Yeah,
about
there's
it.
an entire episode. You weren't with the
It
company
was
anymore.
basically
Oh.
like we'll talk about it later.
I thought you guys had to cut. Man, I don't even remember anything anymore. I just
Yeah.
remember, maybe I remember hearing that story.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Okay,
You
we
weren't a
were
part
like-
of it.
You guys had to stop and be like, "Hey, Boosh."
No, we didn't.
No, we
stop
let
him.
it out. We let it fly.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
we
right.
didn't think about it till later. We were like, damn, that's kind of a. I did not want to tell that one.
Well, that's not my problem. I didn't
Take
do
me
anything.
with you.
Yeah. Oh, damn! I thought I was there for that. Okay.
No.
Again, you were not there.
I don't know. I don't remember anything. Anyway, speaking of,
Yet you're the expert on the podcast for history.
yeah,
You don't
not
even
my
know your own
personal history.
history.
Like I fucking care about that. Nothing here.
Nothing to offer.
No.
Okay.
But man, between the strippers and Boosh going to Thailand, really good intro to this episode. Because today we're hitting a lot of our favorite notes: Victorian times, religion, and sex cults.
Oh God,
You got me.
What are you
2 out of
talking about
3.
today? What are you talking about today?
Why?
Is it gonna happen? What are you talking about today? What is the general theme of your topic?
Oh no! Did we have an incident where we showed up with the same subject?
What are you talking about today?
The Agapemonites. I can't remember.
Okay, no, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. It might be similar in subject matter.
The Agapemonites. Sorry.
No,
Agapemonites.
Now that happens a lot where we have similar topics, but we've never showed up.
With the same
with the
exact
same
topic.
thing.
Okay.
I got this off of TikTok, so I would be surprised if you.
Yeah, I don't use TikTok.
Okay. And by the way, there was not a lot of information on these people.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. The Agapemonites.
Well, first off, you got it off TikTok, so strike one.
No, it's real. I mean, I didn't research it off TikTok. Someone else was talking about it on TikTok,
Oh.
and I was like, I will dive deeper into this.
I need to get on TikTok just so I can get into the history algorithm.
History TikTok is good.
Yeah, I could see that.
A Victorian sex cult founded by someone who, surprise, surprise, thought he was God.
No way. Did God get to have sex with whoever he wanted?
You know, that happens a lot.
It's weird, right?
I mean, look, it's Easter weekend. We're about to celebrate the resurrection of God's son when God just decided, I'm going to bang a 13-year-old.
I want to hear about the God that is not, self-confident.
It's just,
He starts the sex club, but he's like, man, I just don't really have
I
it
feel
today.
like I don't give it enough push.
That's not God.
No. Is a self-conscious God a God? No.
Although
sun?
God is the alpha
And the Omega.
and the omega.
The top and the bottom.
He's an omega male as well.
Omega male, yes. What is an omega male?
I don't know. I've heard of a Sigma male.
Is that someone just like buried in the ground with
Well,
their ass in the air?
so-
Like, there he is. Go get him.
I don't know. I don't remember Omega Man well enough.
Oh, there's Mega Man, who is dope.
I think there
But
is.
Mega Man's an alpha.
He's got like guns for hands.
The
has one
Omega
gun
Man
for him.
is. Do you know what the Omega Man is?
Isn't that like a Running Man?
No, it's the original I Am Legend.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. That's the book, right?
And yeah, and the Omega Man, he's the last man.
Right.
He's the Omega Man. But that's not what God. God is what you said, buried in the ground,
Yeah, he's
just
the
with his butthole.
straight in the air.
Yeah,
And it's like
and
he
you've
just
got
bre-
like
he breathes through a straw that sticks out of the ground, and
He's got
all
the-
he knows is that sensory.
he's got the tool that Gabby talked about. I can't remember, that spreads your vagina open at the gynecologist, but it's just
clamps.
the the forceps or whatever the fuck they're called.
yeah,
But in his
was
butt,
it-
it's
not
open.
the speculum. Not
I
the
don't- I don't know.
A
Yeah.
spatula. Yes,
spatula.
spatula.
It's just two spatulas. Just yeah.
No.
This guy, however,
Flipping meat.
he had at least a little more, I guess, authority than your average cult leader who just kind of wanders out of his house one day and was like, you know what? I'm God. I'm fucking God. He was an Anglican priest who decided he was God one day.
That's quite the self-promotion.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Actually, I'm not just get this. I'm not just a preacher. I'm actually God.
I bet that happened more than you would
I
think.
bet it happened a lot.
Just
like-
underreported.
Let's just cut out the middleman here.
Right.
And me being the middleman, I'm gonna just promote
It's
myself.
like I'm the only guy in town that can read.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
this is the 19th century, so
Again, I'm the only guy in town
Not-
that can read.
it's a little better than maybe like 12th century.
Sure.
But so Henry James Prince was born in 1811, and at the age of 21 in 1832, he became a doctor. However, unsurprisingly, he kept getting violently ill on the job, so he quit.
In the 19th century, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, no way. Get out.
It's like, man, I haven't washed my hands for 9 days after digging in every hole, both made and by man and God, in these people. Keep getting sick.
Yeah.
20 people with smallpox just fucking coughed on me today. Didn't find that the work agreed with him. So at the age of 25, he quit and went to school to become a priest at St. David's Lampeter campus. And there, he was already so mercurial, religiously zealous, I don't know, intriguing, that he gained a following among the students.
Uh-oh. I don't like that.
Like
He was a groomer.
in seminary school, he already had a unofficial cult of personality.
How do you get that? Like, what's he saying where, people that are like, I'm here for God, are like, you know what? I'm actually here for Prince now. I'm here for this guy.
Well, he doesn't think he's God yet.
Okay.
He's just
He's just really hype.
the coolest guy at seminary
Yeah.
school, I guess.
Sick. He can carry so many chairs into the after Bible discussion youth group.
He's
He's just like the youth group pastor that carries all the chairs. That's him.
is that I feel like
That is a stereotype.
I think it's also got to be, speaking of TikTok, like a thing on TikTok, like the youth group chair challenge.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to carry all of them in at once and put them in a circle. That's a real thing.
I mean, I get that. I do that with groceries.
Yeah.
I don't want to go twice.
You know what else is pretty cool?
Now, do you go
Christ.
stacks with two hands, or each individual arm you just kind of fill it?
I got to imagine it's like
you
a
gotta go
coat.
chair
Yeah,
sleeve.
chair sleeves.
I don't think sleeves is the way to go. I think you just stack them and then you carry them.
Oh, do I think that's the most efficient way? Yes.
That's
What
how you get
just
more
said
chairs.
Is the best way.
You
Because
carry
you can
like
stack
10, 12 chairs that way.
You can stack up forever in theory.
Mm-hmm.
Your arms only go
You
so
get
far.
5 chairs on each arm.
Depends on your wingspan.
I
Yeah.
can get 5 chairs on each arm, no problem. No
do you have,
fucking
do you have
problem.
small?
I'm
arms?
sure my wingspan is average, like painfully.
I'm a knuckle dragger. My arms are really long,
I got long arms.
and
as
I have
well.
tiny hands. It makes no sense.
Well, you're not a knuckle dragger. It's just that your arms grew how they're supposed to, and your legs hit a stunt, hit a bump in
True.
the road.
broke the growth plate. At 15,
You're not supposed to
it
break
was
that.
sick.
You're not supposed to break that, bro.
No, this leg's longer than this one.
And see, that's your problem. It's your problem, by the way, is you have long arms, and you should have been tall,
I was supposed to be 6'4".
but you think you should have been a basketball player or maybe even a quarterback. But your baby hands tell me that you should have been a pitcher.
True.
It's good for pitching.
I had an audition to pitch in
Oh.
8th grade, and I did dip.
Shit your pants on the mound.
No, I didn't shit my pants. I got a little lightheaded
Yeah.
and
yeah.
just started beaming my teammates.
That'll do it.
Just Dan puts dip in and just starts crushing his friends with a baseball.
Yeah,
That's
so I switched
amazing.
back to lacrosse.
Such a northeastern
My
sport.
children will never play lacrosse.
Well, actually, no, I played lacrosse before that. It was kind of back and forth. My dad was like, I'm not going to a game. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Honest to God, dude, if my kids play lacrosse, like, I'll go to the games, but I can't even begin to act excited. At some point, it's like, yay, good job, Rory, good job, Finn, but, like, I don't
named your
care.
kids the perfect lacrosse
That's
player.
true, yes. But, like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't care about what's going on.
I definitely don't understand the rules. Like, it's just netball
It's
on a
just
field.
gay grass hockey.
The older I got, and when I didn't play organized lacrosse, like we would just throw it in the fraternity. It's really easy
To throw it?
to throw and catch. Like
Once
once
you
get
get used to it.
Yeah.
it's like maybe the easiest sport out there.
It's one of those sports where they had to come, like when I was in high school, they had to come recruit from the student, you know what I mean?
Oh, like the coach would come around and be like,
right,
"We need
right.
a couple men
that
to-"
one, wrestling, track and field, and cross country. I'll never forget looking at cross country kids and being like,
Why?
"You're morons."
Your sport is everyone else's practice. I do remember the wrestling kids recruiting in high school too, and they would do. You could go see them practice for a day.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that and being like, absolutely not. Like, this is the hardest thing I've ever seen. They just
our wrestling team would start with 3 hours of cardio first.
Yeah.
Before they even got into
They-
rolling.
They would be running around in like garbage bags to make weight and shit, and then like they're like, all right, and for a fun treat, we're gonna. Their treat at the end of practice was pulling by manpower the coach's Jeep around the parking lot, and I was like, this is insane.
That's alpha.
It's for sure.
well, actually, it's Omega.
Why?
It's alpha of the coach.
Yeah, very.
It's Omega.
I guess it's like, hey, this car that can move things and tow things, you're gonna tow.
No, it's
instead.
Omega because they're the last kids to leave school every day.
Yeah,
That's
that
true. They
fucking
love school
too.
so much.
Be there till 9 o'clock at night.
Exercising.
That's been my favorite line from Eastbound and Down. When the guy's like, "Yeah, I run marathons." It's like, I ain't trying to be the best at exercise.
Yeah, that's true.
I played a real sport. So the vice principal of the college was like, "Wow, this guy really knows how to get people into God." And he called up a bishop, not literally, and was like, "Get this man to a church."
This is the famous Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You know that new sound you're looking for?
It's your cousin, Marvin Berry. So he was assigned as an assistant priest, curate, to a church in Somerset, England. But he was immediately in charge because the parish's church, whatever, their main priest was sick. Okay, so Prince is immediately starting QB, top of the depth chart at this church. At the time he took over, the church was not doing well.
What, in what way?
Low attendance.
Oh, they weren't bringing the hype. They needed the hype guy.
Weren't filling the seats.
What a perfect slot for this guy to fall into.
Up until now, with the exception of the spoilers I gave you, this sort of sounds like an inspirational story, right? Like, man tries to be a doctor, doesn't find that it works
Turns
for
to
him.
God.
Finds it's like a Walmart DVD.
I was about to say, like, this sounds like an ABC Family movie.
Yeah. And then he goes, and it's a dinky
Does
church.
it?
No one's going there.
With all the prelude, this sounds like a
Well,
ABC
I'm saying, if
film.
you
If you take
don't
the
know
spoilers
the
away.
sex cult spoiler part,
If you start from the beginning without knowing what happens.
right.
Yeah.
Up to this point in his life is a Christian DVD at Walmart.
But what if you pitched it as this, and then it really got dark?
What
Like, holy shit!
Wait,
what
what
a
if
turn
you?
on season 2?
What if you made this movie and yes, the entire first act was all inspirational?
It's Ted Lasso.
No, you make the first one, the whole thing, the first feature, like the hour and a half first episode of this trilogy. you get everyone on this saccharine Christian shit. And then the second one is whatever you're about to tell us about.
Yeah,
It's just
It
complete,
just
like,
takes a hard.
what the fuck? Like,
This thing doesn't even it. What do you call it when you? I mean, this thing isn't even just like a hard left turn. It's like a series of donuts of left turns. Like just. Fucking,
Yeah.
He's just whipping out there.
so many lefts, he turned right.
It's
Three lefts.
Ted Lasso turns to Tarantino.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So. Obviously, things stop getting inspirational pretty fast. Attendance does indeed start to increase quite a bit once Prince takes over as the church's priest. It blows up because he takes the pulpit and immediately starts acting like he's possessed
Oh, hell yeah.
and throwing himself around the church like he's Edward Norton beating the shit out of himself in Fight Club.
That's amazing. What a great start. That's the first thing he did?
I don't know if it's like the first thing, but he pretty quick into his tenure, yes.
Smart. He's like, all right, people aren't showing up. I got to, like, give them a show.
Yeah. So he's just throwing himself into shit, screaming in tongues, all this fun stuff. And, of course, everyone in the area is like, you got to come see this fucking guy.
Did you hear about the new pastor? What did he say? It's not what he says or how he preaches. It's the fact he's just whooping his own ass for an hour.
I know. Think about
Yeah.
your childhood, though. Typically, there would be multiple masses, and you would go to your favorite priest, somebody that you enjoyed their homily, or...
Sure.
Well, that was for me and Rob, at least.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Actually, no, because it was pretty much the same priest did both masses on Sunday for me.
We had like 3 priests. We had a rotation.
We had two priests in our parish, but one was just kind of like the backup. He didn't do, I don't know what he did a lot.
There was a couple that sucked, and then there was Father Kirk, who was chill.
Yeah, Father Jay was the hardcore. I think he was a convert, so
But you would
those
always
that
go
were
to
like
the
convert.
guy who had like the shorter homily, but also the better homily. He was efficient. He was a good storyteller.
Didn't have our pick of the litter of rabbis in Ocala, Florida, believe it or not.
Oh.
It wasn't like just a roster.
It's fair.
There was two different temples.
Plus, I assume him reading your plans to take over the media was pretty droll, if anything.
Gets
what
really
what
repetitive.
plans? In the 90s?
Yeah, it's just agenda
We
at this
figured,
point, yeah.
it's talking points.
Yeah.
Like, what next?
Yeah, but you got to read off your accomplishments.
Right.
You're just kind of spiking the football.
You don't really need to read accomplishments to yourselves.
Congratulations to Jonathan for being promoted to producer at CNN.
It's like, that's all good.
Yeah.
We just broadcast our dominance to you guys in the forms of symbolism. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I would really look into that dollar bill thing.
What? The pyramid with the eye on it?
You figured out. Do your own research. Yeah.
You don't tell us anymore? Fair
No,
enough.
man.
No, that's what they want you to think, Rob.
Yeah.
Am I misdirecting? Who knows? Am I a psyop? Maybe.
That's why he's
I would
here.
love to be a psyop. Side note.
Everything's
that
a
would be
psyop.
so fun.
Oh, I was saying the other day, my dream job at this point in life is troll for the FBI or CIA.
Absolutely. Get me on the dark list, dude. Like, I want to be in.
I want to be responding to people on Instagram all day.
Yeah.
Just ruining lives.
I just like people are like, oh, the cabal and the Illuminati. It's like, if that's a thing, maybe they deserve it. Maybe they worked hard enough to get there, and you're a sheep.
Right.
And you
it's like
deserve
you're-
to be.
It's like you're hating on the Patriots or something.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
like,
well,
What Jake is saying is free Diddy.
Yes.
No. All I'm saying, though, is power is only given to those who take it,
Yeah.
more or less, you know?
It's there for anyone.
Yeah, people are like, oh, man, conquering lands is the only true ownership, and then they get all weirded out by a cabal that's conquering them. It's
get
like
mad
fucking,
about it, yeah.
you're talking out.
okay.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth, man. Yeah.
You sound like fucking Tonto, asshole.
Do you want peace or do you want revolution? What is it? Both.
That is funny that they're like, well, we took it. Sorry, bro, to like a Native American, and then they get their shit taken. Like, ah!
Yeah.
What? No.
You can't do this to us.
Fucking participation trophy generation. Am I right, guys?
Fucking.
Every Confederate statue
It
is
is
a giant participation.
It really
trophy.
is.
It was 4 years, guys. Let it go.
Yeah, seriously, you lost.
Take that L.
Just take the L, like your ancestors did.
Also, like, if you're in Michigan, what are you doing?
What? That's the shit. Like,
Oh, when someone's flying a Confederate flag in the North.
Yeah.
It's
nothing.
just the redneck flag at this point. I
Yeah.
mean, really.
It really just says I don't like black people at this point. Like, it might as well just say that.
Bad
on
for
it.
liberty. There's an American flag.
Yeah.
That is for liberty.
Yeah, what if we just go back to liking our country?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I love
right?
America.
I-
America rules.
It's pretty
Same.
sick.
Yeah.
Capitalism's cool.
America is the tits, and everyone needs to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so every Sunday morning, like clockwork, this demon jumped up Prince's asshole as far as the people in the church knew and just went bananas on him. Which is funny that the demon kept such a strict schedule.
I was about to say the demon note. He's like, oh boy, that pastor's going up to that pulpit today. Better hop on in. Start driving him.
I wonder if he like played it. He was like, "It looks like this week should be okay." No.
Yeah, man, they're good. Like the people in the crowd are like, yeah, he's gonna give you 5 minutes of normal. Just wait.
Yeah, just the demon always
wait.
pops. You always think it's not gonna happen, and then he's just like,
You need a slow build. You can't lead with that.
"That's true." You got to be like,
Like, welcome
the Lord,
today.
You gotta first. You're like, and the Lord said, the Lord said unto am I right? And then you just go, and then by the end of it, you are a bloody pulp of your own making.
He's just Ric Flairing it the whole time. Please don't, demon. Please don't.
Funniest thing.
I
That
didn't.
is-
I'm still.
I really didn't know that.
I know you guys didn't watch wrestling, so
I think about.
that's Ric Flair's
I've
entire
not
thing.
stopped thinking about how that's.
His signature move is,
Just please don't, man.
Come on,
Hey, man,
don't
no.
do it, man. Oh no.
Then he like low blows you or eye pokes you.
What is that? How did that work in one-on-one matches? Don't fight
Like,
me,
what do
bro.
you think we're here for?
Yeah, like, did you think? I love it. It's
I would be really into Jake Paul as a boxer if he did that.
like MMA. Is he? Wait, which
He's
one's
just boxing.
He's boxing.
Oh, he's boxing.
Maybe
So he
gonna
just
get
gets in the
an
ring and
MMA
he's like,
eventually.
"Hold on, man, come on."
It's just a prank,
It's like
bro.
the
That would
only
actually be
reason-
fitting.
And the guy turns around and boom,
Uh,
cold clocks him.
So the congregation or the attendance got so big that he eventually had to divide the services. He had to do more than one service. And he divided it into services for men and services for women.
oh, this is where it starts.
Yeah. He then divided those services into sub-services. There were 4 services now, right? There were services for righteous men and men who were sinners, and righteous women and women who were sinners.
That's even more calculated. It's like who are the loose ones, basically? Like who can I fuck?
Actually, no. Not quite.
Oh, really?
By the way, what a nerve-wracking draft that must have been. The guy who has a demon in him every week's like sorting you out into sinner or righteous.
Of anyone, he could channel that information though, because he talks to both God and the underworld.
Yeah. The demon knows. He's like, last time the demon was inside of me, he said, "You've done some stuff."
So he was the sword and hat from Harry Potter.
Yes,
Yeah,
there were 4 houses: bad man, good man,
bad
bad
woman.
girl, good girl.
Yes.
And he fucked all of them.
I took the BuzzFeed quiz and it said I was in house bad girl.
By sheer coincidence, most of the women who were deemed righteous, or at least I assume it's coincidence, most of the women who were deemed righteous were rich and single and young.
No shit. What? That's so weird.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
It's great. You know, God works in mysterious
ways.
There's
ways.
nothing mysterious about that way, though. I understand why God works like that. I don't think there's any trick to that one.
So things got weird enough.
That house is essentially Raya.
Yeah, it's the what is that? The one you need to like be approved to be
You
on
need
the
to
app?
be famous or
like
know.
have a certain number of followers or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, of course.
That's really funny. I kind of want to just see should we see if we can get on that app?
You should. You're big enough.
Got 10,000 followers on Instagram. I just like matching with.
Babe, no, I'm
Ren
trying to get
Stevens.
guests for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm just seeing if I can match with them.
I'm just seeing if they
What-
actually want to meet
That's
up.
kind of a nightmare. Like, what if you so you know how
Oh, dude, Jessica Alba just swiped right on me.
everyone has their sort of like cheat list.
Mhm.
Like, you say to your wife, like, I'm just saying if Sydney Sweeney.
Your hall pass list.
Yeah, your hall pass list. Yeah, if Sydney Sweeney came on to me, I would do it. Like, she's on my list. What if your husband was just like, I know you know someone who got cheated on by like a wedding DJ.
There's a local DJ.
Yeah, but
That's
like
the
your
most
husband's
insane
like
thing.
a radio DJ. You know what I mean? Like a
Just
drive time DJ.
like Z list.
With
Yeah.
like 15,000 followers on Instagram.
Again, it'd be like if we were your hall pass.
Yeah, and he got on Raya.
And like matched with
It's able to match with his hall pass.
yeah, just an LA drive time DJ. Yeah. No,
You listening right now, your wife comes on to Jake. How you feeling?
if it's any consolation, I'd say no.
But you're their hall pass. What if they were dying?
I don't think that's such a weird conversation to have too, because you got to think for the other side of the A-list celebrities. It's like to their spouses, it's like, what if I'm someone's hall pass?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
Should I just not fuck them? Like, what if I'm their hall pass?
Not everyone gets to have fans. We're privileged.
Yeah.
Someone.
Do you think that's a discussion that celebrities have? Like, oh, if I'm their hall pass, I'm allowed to do it. I'm like, I just feel like obligated to, and it's not cheating.
They're hot enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's.
I think
There's a lot of people who have a hall pass list.
I think a lot of actors and musicians and everybody, especially ones that travel a bunch, I don't think they have closed marriages or closed relationships.
No.
At least one party doesn't believe that. One party thinks it's an open marriage.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. At least one of them.
Maybe not
believes
both.
It's open. Yeah.
I mean, athletes, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Why even marry a pro athlete while they're a pro athlete? Unless it's like a
Stability.
yeah, true,
The
and that
money.
alimony, baby.
Yeah. Money.
I mean, I get that.
Or you just sign up for the agreement. If you think LeBron's been faithful all these years, you're fucking nuts.
I didn't even realize he was married, to be honest with
He's
you.
been married
His
like
high
the
school
whole
sweetheart.
time.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's a financial decision.
You think LeBron's got like a
I've
quiet,
known girls
like-
that hooked up with Steph Curry, so like. while
yeah,
he
but
was
they're
married.
almost like borderline. People know about it.
Yeah. And yeah, because Aisha just goes out and just flaunts that she fucks other men.
Oh boy, that's
I don't know anything about any of this. Like,
But LeBron keeps it quiet.
Have to.
Yeah,
He's got a good team around him.
he's too famous, and I think she's just like, well, here's one of theirs. But what if he doesn't? What if he's just He's just fucking.
He's just the best dude ever.
yeah, he's just Mr. Dad.
what if? I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he was.
He seems.
He seems like a decent person.
He is pretty corny too.
Yeah,
Probably
he's,
has no
he's
game.
a goofball, man. Like, he hasn't had to have game.
Yeah.
No, ever.
The reason he never surpassed Michael Jordan in rings is because he's a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be a sociopath
right.
to be
That's-
Michael Jordan.
It's the CEO thing, right? Like, Fortune 500 CEOs, like 30% of them are all psychotic and like narcissistic.
Is that why everybody hates billionaires? Because in order to be a billionaire, you have to be a
I got-
cutthroat killer.
Yes.
See, I was reading something the other day, and they were essentially saying like, in my line of work, I deal with a lot of like billionaires and stuff like that. And she was like, the psychos are really just the ones you know. She was like, there's a ton. She's like, I've met a lot of super rich billionaires or very close to it, who are just like the ones you never.
Oh, they're
heard
not
their
on
names.
fucking. They're
She
not
was
on
like,
lists.
they're just they honestly. She's like, a lot of them just live like nice, normal lives with a
Yeah.
lot of money, but like they're just enjoying themselves and they're like pretty.
They're not fame whores.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like the one, like you said, it's the ones that haven't figured out how to get off of the richest person's list. Like the ones, they're richer people than like number 4 on the richest person list or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that will never end up on those lists because they know how to.
All the
not know them.
oligarchs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like no.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that like the only famous one that I imagine might be kind of normal is Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett is not normal.
He's just a big college basketball fan.
He is a fucking psycho. Like
Is he?
no, but I mean
I don't know. I don't.
in the like he's too normal. You know what I mean? Like he drives like a Ford Explorer until it fucking falls apart by the screws, and then he just gets the same color Ford Explorer. He eats like the same meal every day. He eats McDonald's and shit like that. Like he's just a weirdo. Like, but in a
So he's like he lives too like
too normal.
what's the word, like he lives too like specifically, like everything has to be the same every day.
Yeah. Like
Rigid.
Yeah, like a rigid routine.
At least they're successful, right? There's a bunch of people that are trying to achieve that, and they're like, the only way I can do that, and they're like normal people that make like $70,000, $100,000 a year. Like, I have to be the biggest dick ever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're terrible. If
What'd
that's you.
What'd you get? What did you get from it all? You're not going to be a billionaire.
World's a tough place. Got to be hard in it. It's like, dude, you are working at fucking MetLife. Suck my dick.
Worst sentiment I've ever heard is if you don't take yourself seriously, no one else will. It's like typically the people that are that serious about themselves, no one takes seriously.
Yeah, no shit.
It turns
Everyone
out
makes
you're
fun of you behind your back.
yeah. Everyone thinks you're a fucking douche. Like
Why don't they say it to my face then? Because they don't even want to talk to your face.
They
your
don't want
face
to
sucks,
approach
bro.
you.
Yeah, they don't want to be around
you are just not fun. You're a bad hang.
Speaking of bad hangs.
Yeah.
So things got weird enough and notorious enough that the bishop came to investigate. By this point, Prince had already taken what he had termed a spiritual wife.
Nice. God wife, huh? Like a
And it was a spiritual wife because he already had a wife.
Right.
And I think she had died at this point. It was a woman much older than him who was of some means.
His spiritual wife?
No, the
real wife.
legal wife.
Oh.
But she died at
And-
some point, but he already had the spiritual wife. Then, at this point, he also convinced himself that he was God. By now, he's like, oh, I'm God.
Is there like a seminal moment that happens where he's like, I'm God? Like, does he say what happened to lead him to that belief? Is there like part of scripture or anything like that?
You know, I
that
think
happens?
it's probably that Homelander meme.
Which one? Where he's all
After
the
he
people are cheering for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he blasts the dude with his laser eyes in front of like 100, like murders him in front of like 100 people, and he's like, "Oh my God, it's all over!" Like, "Oh my God, they're gonna turn
I've
on
been
me."
exposed. Yeah.
And then everyone just cheers, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. Oh shit.
You push it more and more.
Yeah.
I think he had that. Like he just did something even weirder with.
It's
the
gradual.
Yeah. It's like you don't just put someone in boiling water. You put them in a warm bath.
Right.
And bring it to boil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't help that the priest, so he's convinced that he's God. He believes he's a physical embodiment of the Holy Spirit. So the priest, he kind of became his bit in a way.
He became his bit.
Did he do a bunch of psychedelics?
No, he's going. I mean, he might drink, but
I gotta imagine he has a lot of up and downs in the clergy, like a lot of standing and singing. That's actually, the getting up and down and the singing is a way to hyper-oxygenize the brain, which leads you like more susceptible to suggestion.
Because naturally coming about thinking you're God is insane.
first off,
You
We
need
do
some
that
chemicals in your brain.
to honor the Lord,
Yeah, sure.
there's nothing manipulative about that.
No, just
How dare you?
sing for 3 hours straight.
Get on
and
your
see how
knees
you
for
feel.
God and open your mouth. Stick
Yeah.
your tongue out.
Go ahead.
I do it all the time.
No, it's
Receive
fine.
the body of Christ with your
Yeah.
tongue out.
Carl God.
I have to do
My neighbor.
this. I have to do this.
Yeah, you don't get communion. You do the Wakanda forever.
My buddy Kyle was like, "Yo, dude, don't do that. Just sit." Like, he's like, "Don't. You don't have to go up there."
That's what when Courtney went to mass with me, Christmas mass when we like first started dating. She came home with me. She was like, "Can I go up there and get communion?" And I was like, "No."
No, it'll burn your tongue.
And I was like, "You can get a blessing." She was like, "I don't want to do that." And I was like, "Then don't fucking go. Let's sit here on your fucking heathen ass.
Yeah. If
and
you
thank me for even bringing you."
receive the body of Christ, the Eucharist, and you're not Catholic,
It's just a cracker, isn't it? It does
no,
nothing.
it'll poison you.
I thought.
I think I thought it sort of like drops, like melts all the way through you, drops out your ass.
like a hot penny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
through ice.
Yeah.
And they're like, demon woman.
Mm-hmm. They knew. They sniffed her out.
Isn't it like
It's not just a
the
cracker.
literal thing though is like it won't transhumanate or whatever you call it.
Transubstantiate.
It won't transubstantiate in your mouth because you're not. It's just a piece of food at that.
It tastes like a stale ice cream cone.
That's
like
cool.
A sugar cone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not a waffle cone.
No.
Waffle cones.
We're not splurging.
No,
all right?
no. So it didn't help his perception of himself as God that the priest for whom he took over, who was sick at the time, Samuel Starkey, he read one of Prince's weirdo sermons and then was magically healed the next day. So he was like, "Oh, maybe I'm legit. Clearly, this is I'm the fucking guy."
Yeah.
The pair started going around the country. And by the way, the priest, that happened to him, and the priest became his follower.
What? This guy, I mean, shout out to this guy. Clearly a very like charismatic
Force of will.
Yeah, totally. Like he's doing something right.
100%. So the pair start going around the country and the countryside and neighboring towns, and they start converting people, bringing people in. Eventually, though, the church was like, "You assholes are insane," and they got kicked out.
Oh,
They got kicked out of
why stop
that church.
Why stop the party?
I know, right?
You know what? It's only because there's other people that think they're God. Like, the only reason you stop that guy is because you think you're God.
Yeah, what happens when
Yeah.
you both, clash?
Yeah. God fight? That would be
God
sweet.
fight!
Oh
And
my
it's two
God.
wizards.
Yeah. I want a God fight. That'd be sweet if what if Judgment Day wasn't a judgment of us, but judgment of who was the real God?
One
And, like,
transform.
Zeus and like Yahweh.
It'd be more like
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, like a kaiju fight for sure.
That'd be sick. I watched that.
Yeah, all the gods fighting, like I guess prophets too. Well, no.
No. I don't need Isaiah in there.
Yeah, because like but is like Allah and Yahweh two separate gods? They're
No,
the
it's the
same
same
God.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. So like,
He's fighting himself internally.
Yeah.
but like, does Jesus come?
Jesus was God.
But Yahweh,
he was that God.
yeah, but he's also Yahweh because the Trinity.
And then the Holy Spirit.
That would be a hard one to fight because like you can't even really pin down what that one is. The Abrahamic God.
It's just schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Is the Abrahamic God schizophrenic?
All of our gods are schizophrenic.
That's amazing.
What if he needs to essentially, like, he has 3 personalities? What, isn't there like a superhero like that or something? He has personalities, but he needs the right one to come out to fight. So it's like the Christian God, and he's all like, love each other. And they're like, no, God,
Give me Islam, God.
Be Muslim, be Muslim. And he's just like, he's got to like punch himself in the face to get all worked up. And
He's
then,
the Incredible Hulk.
yeah, Allah comes out. It's like, rah! I mean, Yahweh would be great.
Yahweh's
too.
terrifying.
Yeah,
as
Yahweh
well.
fucks shit up.
Yeah, Yahweh's like sending out bears to kill children. You know,
Right?
Like,
Catholic God's a bitch.
I know. Christian God is
That's Bruce Banner.
weak.
yeah, your God's kind of a. I mean, same God.
There actually is a bit of a God fight later in this story.
Fantastic.
So we'll get to that.
He squares up with someone?
I'll talk. I'll let you know.
Probably because he was fucking his wife.
He was fucking a lot of. Actually, he didn't really fuck a lot of people's wives.
A lot of people's husbands.
No. I wish. It was the women were usually single. They were like.
He had a code.
So far, I don't see any problems with what he's doing.
So after trying to get a foothold somewhere for their new religion, they finally settled down in Weymouth. By this point, Prince had also married legally Starkey's sister. The priest who was sick, who followed him after
God.
getting unsick.
I think Starkey is the Omega Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, Starkey's sister, much like Martha, Prince's first wife, quite a bit older,
Rich.
Yep.
He's got a type. Almost dead and full of
Everybody's
money.
got a type.
Yeah.
Need
My
funding.
type is rich and almost nearing the end.
Was he the original?
She wasn't like elderly, but there was a gap.
Was
Yeah.
he the original startup? Just trying to get like cash infusions.
I mean, what is a startup but a company started by someone with a messiah complex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of sort of polyamory tossed in for fun.
Yeah.
That has to be like a trait that is common between 95% of all startups.
What?
The guy that starts it is just like, I can fuck anything.
Yes.
Or a woman too.
At some point.
I
Do you think
It's a common thread.
What was the chick's name who went to jail?
the Theranos.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Was she just like taking it?
Was
Elizabeth
Smart?
Holmes?
Yeah. Was she?
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah,
it?
Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Smart was the girl who's kidnapped.
That's right.
Was she just getting it
I think she was fucking that.
20 different ways?
I think she was fucking like one of the head dudes on. I really can't speak to it. It's been a while since I read up on that. I'm pretty sure she was hooking up with someone that you'd be like, why were they hooking up?
She was because I
like deep voice.
that. She sounded like She sounded like. God, who did she sound like? I can't remember anymore. But yeah, dude,
Come on.
I can't do it.
Do it.
I
You
can't
got
do
it.
Oh yeah. So I can't like. There's someone she sounds like that I can't think.
I just want you to do your essential oils voice.
Jennifer. Oh my God, Leslie. No, it's just really fat Cookie Monster. Yeah.
Made me laugh. Every
Yeah, that's
time.
what Holmes sounded like. You know.
No, Holmes was like she didn't have any like gurgle in her voice. It was like, oh yeah, like I'm Elizabeth. I'm very smart.
She never even had
You're just
tech
doing a
that actually
Madison in this
worked.
one.
I am really just doing Madison. She kind of does sound like
Nobody knows who Madison is.
I know.
Move on.
Yeah.
Our former boss, a startup CEO.
Mhm.
yeah. I would not put him in the.
He didn't have a Messiah complex.
He didn't have a messiah complex at all. He was probably the most normal startup CEO I worked for.
That's why we failed.
It is.
Yeah.
He's our LeBron James. We need.
Honestly, he is the most normal startup CEO I worked for by
Yeah.
far.
I'm
Not
not
the other
sure.
one.
Far.
Not the other one.
Which John?
No, the partner in crime.
Oh, yeah. That was more on brand.
He's
So-
in a cabin right now with guns, locked up.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know where he is.
Last I heard.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't he start that shit over there?
I don't know. I think he's got like a little bunker, and
That's
he's
whatever,
waiting for
man.
the end times.
Dude,
Cool.
Live your life.
Get ready for Patreon on that note.
Yeah. So, by this point, I do my research. I kind of sat around. And I was like, I think we talked about this before, maybe off camera or whatever. But you know how when you watch a really old movie that's supposed to be like revolutionary, and you watch it and you're like, oh, it's just a movie.
Yeah. Like
the reason is because you've seen 100 movies that have copied it at this point, so nothing that movie's doing is novel to you.
yeah, like Citizen Kane. If you watched it now without any context, you'd be like, "Well, that's fine."
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think
one.
that's
a good movie.
That's how the sex cult feels. Like I read it and I'm like, this is like everything.
It's pretty
but
tame,
but
but
then I'm like, but I think they invented it. Not
They
maybe
didn't
not invented
invent
it,
it.
but like they were early adapters.
What year was this again?
This is like 1848 now.
maybe for
No,
what
that
you
makes
think
sense.
as a modern sex cult. But
This
there's
is-
plenty of ancient.
Yeah. There are. But ancient sex cults I almost don't even count because that's like
That's just norm.
Yeah.
That's normie shit then.
Yeah.
This is kind of in the like the uphill, like the upswing of the Second Great Awakening or whatever it is. The spiritualism movement.
And
too.
there had just been, I think I talk about it later, not talk about it, mention it later. They had kind of unrestricted religion in the UK in 1830.
Oh, really?
So things had gotten kind of wacky. I think it was legal to be Catholic again by the 1830s.
It's crazy it took that long.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I'm not religious at all, but I think we're starting to get to the point where we should bring it back.
What, religion?
Yeah.
Or just like what?
Just something to believe in.
It's better than politics being your religion.
oh, politics being a religion's a nightmare.
This is not what the atheists thought was going to happen.
No, what's okay? Look, we'll talk a lot about this in the Patreon, but
All right, let's save it for then, then.
everyone misleads everyone. It's not just science. It's not just religion. It's not just politics. There's always just assholes.
But
Like,
it's not that. It's when you, for some reason, the human brain needs kind of to put all their eggs into something to believe in. Whether
I think
God,
on a normie level, sure. Like if you think
a
everything's
country, politician, or something. I don't know.
yeah, there's the binary brain of like humans, and there needs to be a black and white, and there needs to be a good and bad, and there needs to be like
They need to make sense of the universe.
We are simple monkeys.
We are monkey people.
nah, man. I like the absurdism. Like it's more fun when nothing matters.
It's not though.
It's way more fun. What are you talking about?
It's not.
Oh,
It's
what?
fun.
Oh, what's so bad right now? What's
Nothing
so bad right now?
But it's like part of me is like, yeah, this is really funny to watch. But another part of me is like, am I gonna have to be at an insane school board meeting in 6 years?
You are.
Yes, every school board meeting is insane.
I'm sorry you
though.
had children. you decided to bring kids into this world.
No, dude, you're gonna talk to some guy with a bucket on his head that's like, the 6G tower is gonna bring down a plane, and like that guy's gonna be like trying to ban fucking the Diary of Anne Frank.
I mean, 10 years ago, probably
Although
more so than 10 years ago, there was the fucking dude from New Hampshire that ran for president with a boot on his
Berman Supreme.
Yeah.
That guy's the man.
To be fair, by the way,
head. That's going to be the norm.
that Diary of Anne Frank banning. It was like the
Did that happen? I just pulled a book out of my ass that should be.
did, but here's why. People were like, "They would have banned the Diary of Anne Frank. They would deny the Holocaust." It was a illustrated version.
Did
of
it include the masturbation?
Yes,
scene?
of
Okay.
the unedited masturbation version.
I feel like that's
and it was like for like third graders.
okay. No. One, do we like? What a horrifying thing posthumously. Like, if there is an afterlife, Anne Frank's like, my dad did what with my diary? Like, are you fucking kidding?
Jesus
A 12-year-old girl's diary is one of the most read
Leaked.
books of all time. That is a fucking nightmare for a 12-year-old.
That is actually the funniest thing that could possibly happen to a 12-year-old's diary.
This becomes a fucking New York Times bestseller
Yeah.
forever.
And she
Like,
gets none of the royalties.
nothing. She gets nothing.
She got nothing from it except some type of notoriety, I guess.
I don't
It's
think.
about-
I don't think as she was
But not
lying
even
dead,
good.
like dying at dock hour, wherever the fuck she was, that she was like, I hope. I don't know how, but I hope I'm famous one day.
I hope what a monkey's paw. Like, I hope I hope everyone in the world reads my diary is something no one has ever said.
No.
Yeah.
So,
I will say, though, with recent social media trends, I think there's going to be a whole new, sloth of or Holocaust deniers.
Dude, what are you it's so hot right now.
It's hot in the streets.
It's
It is.
been hot since
People
the
are
inter-
just posting the 6 million number from like old
Insane.
newspapers
That-
before World War
the,
II.
the Protocols of the Elders of Zion is going around again, which is like, Jesus Christ, this has been floating around forever. It is
It's going mainstream, baby.
No, it's ever since the internet, man, like the anti-Semitic rhetoric.
I miss. We talked about this
because
on
the internet's for talking about crazy
the car ride back from the gun range the other day. Man, I just miss the old internet.
Yeah.
The Wild West internet.
where you have
The
to go
Kimbo Slice internet.
you go to a website,
Yes.
not an aggregate, because everything is like I believe in the dead internet theory now more than I did 10 years ago.
What's
You
the
would
internet?
just naturally come upon stuff. Now
Yeah.
it's like whispered down the lane and it's completely wrong.
Dead internet theory is that there's hardly anyone on it. There's only so much content. Like there's
Yeah.
only so many people actually using it. It's like we could go into a whole other thing on that, but like I think there's really only like a handful of websites that are visited. Like personally, I know there's a bunch of websites, but like think about it. Like most people get their news from like. I used to go. I would think like 30 different websites when I was on the internet,
For news. Yeah.
or just like
in general. Yeah.
in
Oh my God. My
entertainment.
morning
Yeah.
at work in 2010
yeah.
at my shitty marketing job.
You have forever shit to look at,
Oh my God. Yeah.
and now it's like, well, I looked at fucking Reddit,
Yeah.
I looked
Twitter.
Looked
Yeah,
at Reddit.
Twitter.
Looked at Twitter. Looked at
Instagram,
Instagram, and
Saw a headline.
yeah.
That's
saw,
it.
saw something, got angry at it, tweeted about it.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to go.
No, it's kind of awful.
It's
really funneled into
horrible.
a couple services. It sucks.
Let's just roll it back.
Just start a. You guys want to
Roll
start a
back.
website?
Be the change you want to see in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a Patreon without Patreon, where it's just our website
Yeah.
and you pay to get in.
Yeah. I'd be able.
No, we're not going to do that.
I'm not.
Absolutely fucking not.
Why?
Server costs
Oh yeah.
for content? You fucking man.
Yeah, I don't want to do
pitching it.
Video?
that. Nah, I'm good.
Well, no, we'll upload that to YouTube.
Yeah.
You
Just
hyperlink.
embed the video. Come on now.
I don't understand how YouTube's ever profitable.
It's probably not.
They don't have employees, so
Probably not.
yeah.
No, it's ran by literal AI.
AI. The
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
I think the CEO.
That's
of
why you can
YouTube-
never talk to anyone.
Yeah, the CEO of YouTube is a robot. I'm almost positive.
And you talk to anyone in Google, they're like, I have no idea who
They
works at
they
YouTube.
think of it like a black box. It's weird. Like, what is that thing?
All right. So
That's our god.
YouTube, faux show.
Kinda. So Prince also, of course, by this point, just checking all the boxes. Like I said, it's like oh, this seems normal for a sex cult. He also started preaching that the world was definitely ending soon.
Have to.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's a huge misstep. That's what our entire Patreon's about this week.
okay. Sweet.
Yeah,
But also, if you are God, why would the world continue
Without
if
you.
you die?
yeah, it's like it's gonna end with me. It's gonna end with me, guys.
It's like
that's it.
Christopher Nolan's worst movie, Tenet. The drug
Couldn't
dealer
make it
just
past
wanted to
20
end
minutes.
the world.
I don't even remember what Tenet was about.
You don't worry about it. It
Like
wasn't.
I saw it. I don't remember a single thing about that movie.
He was just
Except for-
trying stuff.
Yeah.
He was like,
Really?
I'm really gonna dive in on the time thing.
Yeah. We're
Like
going
harder-
all in on time.
It's just about time.
So this made Prince's followers rich and poor alike, but most importantly, rich, not super attached to possessions or money.
Oh, perfect. So they gave their stuff
And
up.
Prince was happy to hold it for him.
Of course, of course.
So Prince used all that money he got from his followers to buy and build up a house in Spaxton, England, that would become known as the God, I hate this fucking word. Agapemone. The Agapemone. Yeah.
The Agaponomy?
Agaponomy,
Agaponomy,
whatever. Which is Greek for the abode of love.
That is some.
Yeah. Which
Lame
is,
shit.
and I assume abode of love is euphemism for fuck compound.
How do you spell Agaponomy? I want to see what this thing looks like.
Agape.
Oh, agape. It's agape.
Yeah.
Country of origin?
Greece. Absolutely Greece.
Okay.
Use it in a sentence, please.
So
it's agape. That's the root word for this movement. Is
Okay.
agape.
okay.
It's a type of love.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's what is it? There's agape, eros, and a third one.
What type of love is agape?
Agape, I think, is like love for mankind, if I believe. Like it's like a
It's not putting stuff and stuff.
the kind of love and action that shows empathy, extends the desire for good of the beloved, wants the best, extends help, or demonstrates good intentions. Agape love is sacrificial. Like the love of Jesus Christ is agape.
Boo.
Yeah, eros is the fucking one.
Is fucking. Okay. Well, of course, this compound had huge walls to keep people in and keep people from seeing what was going on. There was a chapel on the site. And by the way, that chapel today is used to film children's TV shows.
What? Sick. The more that comes out about children's television, the worst.
It's where they film Sesame Street.
The English version.
Sesame Street, isn't
Sesame Line.
Sesame
it? Sesame Line, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So at one point, Prince claimed he had 500 followers. So his critics said it was more like 100. Prince
That's
also
classic.
came to believe stuff like that he was immortal,
Oh,
Mm.
so if he's immortal, but the world's gonna end.
but
How's
he never tested it. He's a bitch. I don't think he believed
that?
it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
More people that claim to be immortal need to show on the
It
spot.
wasn't like Westworld where he's cutting into himself.
Yeah. No.
Where are the gears?
Look at my wires. They're like, those are veins. They're like, wires. Yeah.
What is
Mechanical Jesus.
What
yeah.
is a vein but a wire? The Nottage sisters were some of Prince's richest followers, and they were all spiritually married to members of the church, though not Prince himself. And they became spiritually married after donating 6,000 pounds each. Agnes Nottage became not super into the cult, though, and wrote her sister Louisa telling her not to come join her, but Louisa came anyway. So Louisa's mom, worried that Prince was going to steal money from Louisa like he did her other daughters, was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. So she sent her son Edmund, her nephew Edward, and her son-in-law Frederick to travel down to the church and kidnap her daughter Louisa to get her the fuck out of there. And the three men succeeded in kidnapping her in 1846, and they imprisoned her in a villa in Regent's Park. But Louisa was like, no, I want to go back. He's God. He's for sure God. I need to go back. Like, that God lives there.
I mean,
I need to fucking be there.
the kidnapping and imprisoning move is like, I don't think you're selling your case that you're doing the best for
Right.
that person. It's
It's
like,
a
this
different-
person's going to save me, and you're just putting me in jail.
You're just putting me in a prison that doesn't have God in it.
Yeah, cool.
I want to go back to the prison with God.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The guy that lays pipe.
God's got a big old dick.
she was
Had to.
like, Mom, he's God. He's really God. And so her mom was like, you're fucking insane.
He
And-
lasts more than 30 seconds.
yeah, that's God to me. So she tossed Louisa into an insane asylum.
That sucks.
And the insane asylum studied her because they wanted to, I don't know why, but her case
How do
actually,
people fall into cults?
yeah, might have been novel at the time, I suppose.
Did they just cut open her head?
No, they
As
didn't.
they would.
Unfortunately, no.
They just gave her a transorbital lobotomy.
They put a baby's brain in her, and then she just started taking dick left and right.
Isn't that the plot to a movie?
Things.
That's Poor Things. That's
Yeah.
what that's. Oh man, I gotta watch that movie.
It's like they put a baby's brain in Emma Stone's body, and that baby's like, I would like every dick I see.
It's a weird concept.
What is the concept? What is the point of the movie?
I said
love?
it. It's sort of like, I don't know, seeing the world through
A child's
eyes.
Is
But for some reason, that child just
a hedonist?
needs. The
Yeah.
child is kind of But
I
it-
mean, but that would kind of make.
but it
sense.
was
But
funny is-
it's in a like full grown adult, so the brain adapts and grows exponentially. It's not like a baby for very long.
Oh
No.
because it's coming to terms with the.
It just readjusts to a full grown adult.
when she goes out into the world and starts getting dicked down by Mark Ruffalo, she is absolutely a toddler.
Mark Ruffalo, huh?
Yeah.
That's the first. That's the first D.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Mark Ruffalo. Interesting.
So they featured her in the Lancet. That's how crazy she was. The doctors wrote about her in the medical journal that is still running today. In 1848, Louisa escaped from the insane asylum and met up with a reverend from the church, but she was soon recaptured by her family. The reverend, however, alerted the mental health authorities in Britain, who were known at the time as the Commissioners in Lunacy.
That's great. This is a great title.
Yeah,
I would love to have that on my LinkedIn.
that Lunacy Commissioner.
Lunacy Commissioner? Yeah, absolutely.
In May 1848, Louisa was released, and then she sued her family for kidnapping her and throwing her in an insane asylum. This actually became an important case for the rights of mental health patients.
That's interesting. How'd that go? She win?
She won.
Good. That's great. Yeah, involuntary. What is it? Involuntary submittal to like a mental facility is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Some people can still do it.
Some people need it,
In Florida, you can Baker Act someone,
but a
for-
lot of people,
Yeah.
In 1860, though, she died, and Louisa's brother, Ralph, sued Prince to get the money back that Louisa had left him in her will, of course.
Yeah.
And they won. Prince didn't get the money.
Good.
But by this point, though, Prince was a god and immortal, and then he also came to believe something else.
Wait, the god had a will?
No, Louisa had left all her stuff to God.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, why is he writing up a will if he thinks he's immortal?
Yeah, no, he doesn't get a will.
Okay.
Prince this is where we just start doing left turn donuts.
Okay.
So
This is where it starts?
yeah.
Okay.
So Prince, who at this point
It hasn't been that crazy yet.
It really hasn't.
has a bunch of spiritual wives. He's fucking like 10 chicks. The house that's on the property has bedrooms for all these different women.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lives in the house. He's banging them, blah, blah, blah. Now, though, Prince is like, do you know what else I'm pretty sure I can do since I'm God and I can do anything? I think I can purify virgins.
With his dick?
With my penis.
Purify virgins, like make non-virgins virgin again, or
No. Put his penis in a virgin
Doesn't count, though.
and make her pure. That will purify her flesh of sin.
He's baptism through his fucking piece.
Literally. Yeah.
it's a baptism under father's dick. Yeah, interesting.
Just
So this is
right on the
where
face.
this is where I think things go from questionably consensual to probably rape.
Oh no.
Because there's like a law in some states, like if you misrepresent yourself to get laid.
Yeah, it's considered like if you're like I'm a fucking millionaire and you
Right.
get laid, and then people are like, well, you lied. That's
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there's a limit to that because, like, yeah, if you say I'm a millionaire and she fucks you because she thinks you're rich, that's on you. But if you tell someone like if I walked up to someone and was like, I'm God, you should fuck me, or I'm LeBron James, you should fuck me, that feels like it's on them.
I'm curious, at what level do we have to like hold people accountable for fact checking things?
Right.
Like, yeah,
Because if I told someone, yeah, I'm LeBron James, and she fucked me because I'm LeBron James, I don't know that that's on me.
I like at a certain point.
How old is he at this point? Because I'm looking at photos of him, and they're mostly of him being an old guy.
Yeah, no, he's in his 30s, 40s here.
Okay.
He lives a nice long life.
He looks fine. The younger photos of him.
Yeah, he's not gross.
Just a normal dude.
Yeah, he's not gross or anything. So, with the spiritual wives who fuck him because they think he's God, I don't know. That's on you for thinking he's God. But for this one, I don't really know how else to put it. So Prince is like, I can purify virgins. I better start. Enter church member Zoe Patterson, who is 16.
Okay.
In front of the entire congregation in the chapel, as they all sang hymns, Zoe Patterson was laid out on a billiards table.
This is very frat housey.
And I guess raped by Prince. Like he fucked her. I call it rape. People there said she looked, quote, hypnotized. And after this, a ton of people were like, yeah, I'm out. I can't go to another one of those.
Did he use like a pool stick?
He probably used his dick
He uses his penis.
because
Well,
he's
both.
purifying.
Yeah. The guy, he didn't make the pool stick's not part of God.
Yeah.
But if it's his pool stick, it is.
I guess anything he touches is
God,
part of him.
yeah.
Well, he's the
It's an
master of the
extension of
universe. I
God.
guess everything is technically God.
Right, yeah.
Like he is everything, right? Like, so.
I remember back then billiards too. It's a controversial kind of game.
Yeah.
Was it like he was gambling, right? Or what was the deal with it?
I don't know. I just remember Quincy put a fucking billiards table in the White House.
And people thought it was kind of
and
gauche, right?
it was a controversial issue. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, what a scummy guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was like a lower person's novelty.
It'd be like if Bill Clinton put one of those like porno bar games in his
Oh yeah.
in the White House. You know what
So
I mean?
he put a fruit machine in there.
He's
yeah.
like, hey.
It's
It's just on the Resolute desk. He gets bored and he's like, you got to like match the.
That's coming, by the way. If you think the White House is above all these gambling sponsors, you are mistaken.
gambling. People aren't ready for this. Like they're already not ready for it. It's gonna get worse and worse.
There's going to be presidential campaigns brought to you by MyBookie.
My bookie AG.
Yeah. So Prince was like, by the way, we don't have to worry about having a baby because I'm God, and so this is just purely baptism by dick.
Don't
She's not going to get pregnant. She, of course, got pregnant, and he was like, oh, the devil did it.
Well,
That's a devil baby.
was the demon in him while he was in her? That
Demon keeps jumping into him.
Yeah, I mean, why is God getting possessed by the devil?
He's both.
Kind of like the play.
Yeah. In 1899, at the age of 88, Prince died.
Oh.
and his followers buried Prince on the grounds,
Ass up.
standing up.
They buried him. They buried him vertically.
Yes, so that he would be standing on the day of the resurrection.
Oh, that's lame.
Also easier to kind of dig your way out.
Yeah.
True. Unless they go 6 feet down.
Just reach up,
Around 1890.
pull yourself up.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. Pull yourself up by your gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you even get boots when you're in a?
Depends what you request to be buried in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. After Smith died, John Hugh Smith Pigott took over, and he recruited 50 new young female followers because the population was aging. He took Ruth Ann Priest as his second wife, and they had 3 children named Glory, Power, and Life.
Get all these old hens
Sick.
out of here.
Sick names. Glory, power, and life.
I feel like that's like a very on brand for like a Texas mega church child name.
Their last name was Priest. So there's someone that was named Power Priest out there.
No. Smith Pigott is the
Power
his name.
Pigott?
Power Pigott. Yeah.
Fucking name, dude.
Smith Pigott was now claiming to be God, by the way, and he is the one that got in a God fight.
This is kind of like a Dalai Lama situation where once the prince died, it moved over to Pigott.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to prove that you are God.
Mm.
So everybody's coming for the throne.
I want to be around when they try to get the next llama. I hope I see it. It's got to be soon.
Yeah, that guy's old.
Do they
Yeah.
kiss fight?
They might end. What?
They kiss fight?
Did they kiss fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama?
Doesn't he do something weird?
Oh,
He
dude.
was like kissing a kid on the lips.
Or like
There-
licks
he's-
them?
There's he's not a perfect being by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of politics involved with the Dalai Lama. He might end it.
I don't think it's politics. I think it's just weird shit.
Oh no, he does weird shit too. I'm saying there's a whole lot of problems with the Dalai Lama in general. Like it's not. There might be some kid issues. There might be like some political issues. Yeah, I mean, hey, raise your hand if your religion doesn't have some kid issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
You're liars, both of you.
You
It's
can't,
God's will.
you can't prove anything.
Not if you keep moving the preachers. If you keep playing merry-go-round with them.
So I guess Smith Pigott got pretty famous at one point, and by 1902 his fame had spread as far as India, famous for being God. And Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, who also said he was God, wrote Smith Pigott a letter being like, "Listen up, motherfucker. I'm God.
I love this.
You're not God. And if you don't renounce your holiness or whatever, you will die before I do, and that'll prove you're not God. However, if I die before you die, then I guess I'm not God."
That's fair logic.
Yeah. Smith Pigott won. He won the God fight.
Whoa.
The Indian guy died first.
Holy shit. Well, that's a lame God fight. It's who dies first.
Yeah.
Lame.
Whoever dies first isn't God.
It's a tontine.
With 2 people. Weak.
Chill.
Smith Pigott did die in 1927, and the sect gradually declined after that, though it lasted until 1956.
Who took over?
What?
Who took over then?
No one. That was the last member died in 1956, and they had no more members.
Let's start it up.
Smith Pigott's granddaughter, Margaret Campbell, though, recalled her grandma, Ruth, I think his second wife, I can't remember, saying not to believe the stories about Smith Pigott, that he was a good man and that all the media was blowing it out of proportion.
Classic.
How crazy they were.
Oh
Which-
my God. That's
Maybe they were.
every cult says that
Yeah.
when they're actually very crazy. Like, Branch Davidians were like, oh, they're blowing it out of proportion. The Rajneeshpuram, they're blowing it out of proportion. And, like, then the government does end up, like, not seeing what happened to the Branch Davidians. It was
I was going to
Dude.
say Waco, they might have.
they might have been touching kids though too.
Like, they were weird motherfuckers.
yeah,
We're not. Just because you don't deserve to be lit on fire doesn't mean everything you were doing was fucking cool.
No.
there's a big difference between like they should have been investigated. Yes, they shouldn't have been Janet Reno'd. Like
Yeah.
that. Didn't
But
need to
perhaps,
happen.
they're slinging allegations against them post-mortem
Oh,
for the horrific shit they did.
the ATF showing up and raising their flag on the compound like it was an active war site.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. But we don't need to.
Because, like, if the easiest way to discredit somebody is, of course, you just throw out, like, pedophilia allegations.
Every time.
It's the fastest. It's the worst. It's
Yeah.
the worst thing.
You'd rather be accused of murder.
Absolutely.
I would literally rather be accused of murder.
like unless it was murder of kids. Actually, no.
Even
I'd rather be accused of murdering kids
Mhm.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also said that even though, yes, Smith Pigott did have multiple wives, she claimed the wives were happy with the arrangement. One was older and not able to have children, and the sect it was of its time. You know, you can't judge you can't judge it.
I'm surprised polygamy doesn't have a legal standing at this point, though. Like, I'm surprised we have a, like, you can't do that laws.
We're a Christian nation.
Very Puritan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. I gotta imagine it's less so because of the puritanicalism, though, and more so like there's some sort of advantage you can take advantage of in the whole state of Indiana just married.
They don't want you to
itself.
get two tax breaks.
Yeah, right. I think it's that more than anything. Like, it's just hard to tax a 3, 4, 5 person marriage.
Yeah.
Like, how do you tax them?
Look, think of all those dependents too with children.
Got like 40 kids.
Yeah, I mean, because I guarantee you it has less to do with morality and a lot more to do with, like, we don't want a neighborhood marrying
It's
itself.
like the government
And,
owes
yeah.
me millions.
Yeah.
She also said that the women liked being in the cult because it allowed rich women an alternative lifestyle to their other options of either governess or, you know, married off to some other rich.
There are other
asshole.
options of sweeping or bacon.
Yes, and they lived in luxury at the Agapemone in Somerset until their death. So they were like,
Agapemone.
Agapemone, yeah. They were like, this is better. We like this. I don't
Yeah.
want to be some asshole's
Of course.
wife.
Of course. Of course they liked it. They were
Yeah.
pooling resources. They did
The
less
commune.
work. Yeah.
And they had a ton of money. It was a rich cult.
Yeah.
So
It's the best cult to be in.
she claimed that it was legit.
It's a sorority.
Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who's joining the cult where it's like, okay, now we're going to all live in soggy boxes under an overpass? It's like, oh, we get to live in a castle? Fuck yeah. This cult makes sense.
I like to fuck this guy who's not even that bad looking like once a month.
And he's rich. And
Well.
I'm going to be taken care of.
He might even forget about me. There's so many people in this.
Yeah. Like, that's
I could
not
just
a bad
skate by.
gig. The raping of a 16-year-old in front of an entire congregation is
On a pool table.
pretty
but-
fucking awful.
That was unlikely the last virgin he did that to
Yeah.
also.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but they even thought it was horrific, and most of them left.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's
A lot
always-
of them didn't, though.
When you watch any of these cult documentaries, you're like, you know, like, okay, everybody fucks. Who's being hurt? And
Yeah.
like the first episode will always be like, what's the problem? And then they get to the second episode, it's like, that's when they started forcibly removing their genitalia. It's like that's where
there
they're
it is.
they had because they
They
always
couldn't
have
just fuck.
You're like, I regret what I said earlier.
yeah, they had me in the first half, not gonna lie. But like, it's the thing with cults is they always escalate to a place that goes beyond.
Because nobody would join if that's where they started.
Well, also people can't just be happy with what they got. you
Oh
know?
no, it's the constant like I had another revelation. Like
Yeah.
it's just they have to keep bringing new things.
Yeah,
to
dude,
the table.
Jonestown,
keep
if I could
engaged.
just fucking play basketball in the fucking tropics all the time, it'd be great.
That'd be sweet.
That's what I want. But anyway, that is the story of the Agapemone cult in England. Died out in 1956 after a century.
Oh, they missed the 60s?
I know.
What? Like, they would have been perfect for it.
Well, it was like one dude that was living in the 50s.
Oh, they could have gotten a lot bigger if they
They
wrote it
really,
out to the
put-
60s.
but by the time Smith Pigott died in 1927, it kind of jumped the shark. I
Right,
would
because
say.
the pool table incident.
Yeah. What did you guys learn today?
I learned about these people. I had no idea they existed.
Plus, how do you have a sex cult survive World War II? You just can't.
It's hard. I think that a lot started after World War II. I feel like swinger culture had to have started after World War II.
I think there are a lot of people who
American swinger culture?
just saw some shit. Yeah, Americans.
Although, if you're in England, right, and you're going through the Blitzkrieg,
There you
there's
go.
probably some people, testing the waters.
You think it's the fucking apocalypse, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
everyone's just kind of out down in their bunkers or in their basements.
Yeah.
Let's give it a throw.
It's like we might not live tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people, like, if they were like, hey, a comet, say you knew a comet was coming. It was going to hit a meteorite, right? A meteor. It's going to hit Earth. Like, I think there's a level of time they have to announce that, like, and keep it from people.
Do you think people would just be like, oh, let's fuck, or people are jerking off? I don't think so. I think I would just I would go off and look at a beach or something. I don't know.
Like, how much time is a funny concept, though, too, right? Like, if it's like, it's going to hit in 8 years, what do you do for 8? Like, that's amazing. but it's scary.
Well, I
That's a
actually
long
think things
time.
get bad really quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because everyone quits their jobs.
It's like
Supply chain implodes.
global food security trash. So I think they wouldn't tell us until it's like there's 6 months.
I don't want to know.
No,
I don't want
30
8 years
days.
of nightmare.
I want 6 months. Like just give
Yeah.
me 6 months where it's like okay,
Even then, dude, that's the
That's
last-
also people are just killing others. I think they're like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna die anyway. So
I
it
think-
becomes the purge.
okay. So there's
I
got to
think
be
you don't tell. I think the better thing to do is not tell anyone.
it would be impossible not to tell.
Well,
like,
eventually
amateur.
you can,
like there's
but-
got to be a point though where it's like,
But that's like a month or two. You could probably.
The sky.
yeah,
Look at the
son,
sky.
son,
That's a big one.
it's at night time, but it's the second sun.
It's getting pretty dark over here.
Well, that big rock keeps getting bigger, isn't it? In it.
But yeah, that's all I got. Oh, who's today's Hitler?
The guy that raped the 16-year-old on a pool table,
Oh boy,
Billiards as a game.
John Billiard.
John Billiard is.
I'm sorry, it
in
was
fact,
Michael Poole.
Hmm.
They invented it together.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. So for Dan Regester and Jake Goldman, I'm Rob Fox. Patreon.com/softcore history. Check
YouTube.
it out. YouTube Softcore History. What
Reviews,
else?
5 stars.
5
Please
stars.
and thank you.
Let Dan drink.
Let Dan drink.
And you just got soft served.